All right, I can't believe that we're going to be talking about like how to develop your brand story. I don't even know what a brand story is, but I'm going to learn what that is this morning or this evening. Hey, Sharai Robbin, before we get started, and I love these behind-the-scene conversations, do you mind, I love asking this question, giving us the backstory? Like, give us your narrative. Like, who is Sharai? What has your journey been? And at the end of the day, what are you up to these days?
Well, hey, Shay, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me as a guest on the show. I'm super excited to be here, and there's so much that I want to jump in to share with you. And so I'm going to be taking some time to give you all the information, give you all the backstory, and give you the rundown. But I definitely want to make sure that I'm going to share some information with you tonight about your brand story and why it's important. As an author, as an editor, as a literary coach, as a writer, there are so many people who are like chomping at the bit to tell their stories. But how are you positioning yourself in this space that you're stepping into? So that's kind of what I want to get into as we dive into this conversation tonight.
Well, we're looking forward to diving into it. And, you know, the questions always asked, like, what's your big why? I know that's one of those questions that come up all the time, but I don't want to go there. I'm just curious, what's your mission? Like, what mission is Sharai on right now?
So that's an interesting thing, and it's beautiful because it's a part of my brand story, right? Mm-hmm. So your brand story evolves, and we'll get into that. But for me right now at this space that I'm in, I see myself as a badass editor who's helping people tell amazing stories, right? That's really who I am. And walking in that, owning that, being in full embrace of what that embodies, being comfortable knowing that I know what I know, that my team has success in what we do and creating incredible stories and helping people build their brand platforms and land speaking engagements. So for me, that's that space, you know, that I'm in right now, is being a good steward of my gifts and serving other people and helping them help other people, right? For us, it's a double win, right? As editors, we like to say we win twice. We get to help you help other people.
Help you help other people. I'm looking forward to the conversation. And Tasha, I know you're sitting there and you're listening over there, and folks that want to know, like, who in LL Cool J are you, right? Like, just take a minute. Like, we don't have all day, but take a minute or two. And what's your backstory? What's your narrative? What journey? What have you been on? You heard me ask the question. And what are you up to today?
Thanks so much, Shay, for having me on the show. I've watched the show 4 times in a row, so I'm so happy to be on the show. So I am naturally a connector, and so it makes sense for me to be a social media community manager, and I help people build their communities and also, you know, help them connect, have a intimate connection with their audience. And so I'm going to be sharing some tips and strategies on how you can connect with your audience inside of a Facebook community or using another platform online.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I like this. So I get to learn first my brand story and the narrative, and then I get to give it to somebody, those marketing folks or those social media folks, and they get to go out there and drive it forward. That's what I'm talking about. Look, I'm excited. Yeah. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get started. Look, they're giving me the cue. Let me see. They're giving me the cue that we got to get going. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get going in 5, 4. I love doing this part. 3, 2. This is so much fun. 1. Let's kick this thing off. It's showtime. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Sharai Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Woo-hoo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Sharai Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's a great day. My name is Sharai Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the #1 business development, and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is really to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all the resources you need necessary to execute the vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And many of you have 3 visions. You have a vision for yourself, or how you want to live, the clothes you want to wear, the personal trainer that comes to your home, or the cook that cooks for you. And some of you need, it takes resources, it takes money. Others of you have a vision for your loved ones. No, the ones you care the most about, the ones you want to write a check really to a school of your choice so you can send them there. Others of you want to pay for a family member's health care insurance. Some of you like writing checks for causes that you believe in. And in this episode, this will help you. And others of you out there, you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. You got to reach them. You've got to solve a problem. You've got to make a difference. And you've been given the right experience. You've been given the right expertise. And God, and I do believe in God, has given you all the talent. And so all you need is just a little bit of resources. So for Amber Smith is out there watching right now, Candy Martin is watching right now. Margaret, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining. Margaret Hughes, who's in the house. This is for you as well. So we're going to start off, I don't know, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I guess I'll say, Sharai. Now, Sharai, I know you're there, and we have a mantra here. And the mantra is, today is my January 1. Today is my January 1. We get a restart. We get a do-over. And if you're watching right now, you can look below the video and write, today is my January 1. And for all my new viewers, today is my January 1. It represents that moment where you make a decision. And there are many moments throughout the day, just like there's many moments throughout your life where you make a decision, and that one decision you make changes the trajectory of your life forever. It shifts it. And so I'm going to ask Sharai Robbin if she would tell us what was that January 1 moment that she had as an entrepreneur where she finally realized that I'm going to plant my flag, and I'm going to teach people how to tell their story. I'm going to teach them how to write their story, and I'm going to make this work. So, question over to you, Sharai Robbin. What was your January 1 moment? Talk about January 1.
Okay, so thank you so much. My January, that's a great question. That's such an interesting prompt too. So my January 1 for me would have to be, the biggest turning point was when I decided that I wasn't going to go back to work for somebody else. I had left my job. I was trying to figure this whole entrepreneur thing out, and I had just graduated with my master's degree in English. But I had just written my book also. So I was out touring, I was making money, but it wasn't like a whole lot of money. And I had the opportunity to go and teach at a university. And there was this moment when I realized that I didn't want to be constricted. I didn't want to be back under anybody's guidelines, anybody's rules. So I decided at that moment that I was going to take my education and my background, and I was going to teach the clients the same things that I had been learning and teaching freshman students were the same things that all these business owners, all these writers, all of these aspiring entrepreneurs were struggling with. So instead of going to work for somebody's university and teaching college freshmen, I thought, why don't I just take all of these skills and teach business owners how to write well and how to write books and stories that actually connect. And I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna work. I believe you, God. And that was it. And there was this moment. It was like around the spring of 2016. It was like, this is what we doing.
Yeah, and you're gonna plant your flag. That was your January 1 moment. And for Cheryl Diane is watching right now, and Lady Constance is out there, and Amanda Nave, and so many of you are watching right now. You got to be asking yourself, okay, you said this is the moment, but what were maybe 1, 2, or 3 steps you took to actually get started on this journey?
Okay, absolutely. So one of the very first things that I did, and I encourage this for everybody, is I connected with a coach. Right, I got under some leadership. I realized right away that as much as I knew with my education and my background, and I knew a whole lot about writing, a whole lot about editing, English, words, sentence structure, syntax, grammar, all that. That's my lane. There were other things about business and systems and strategies and sales and points of view and all of this stuff that I did not understand. And I was like, I need to know this. So I need to get under somebody who can teach me these things. And I don't want to take a class. I don't want to go back to school. I want to shortcut this. I want to get to success quicker. So I connected to people who were successful. And I got a coach. That was my very first decision in business. And that has taken me very far.
Good. I love it. And what would you say to the person right now that's thinking, okay, today is my January 1st, like Candy that wrote it. Today is my January 1st. I'm gonna do it. And in the back of their mind, there's a little voice saying, no, you're not. You always say this. What would you say to that person right now that's fearful about being consistent, or better said, what are your ideas or suggestions to someone to be consistent and to stick to what they said they're going to do?
So one of the best things that work for me, I'll say in this space, is to say what I am going to do, right? Because that voice is constant. That voice that's always like, you should take a nap. Like, no, there's always that voice encouraging you, like, oh, there's so much to do. This nap.
I love
right
taking naps.
I love that, right? There's always this voice, but there has to be another voice that takes precedence. There has to be another part of you that says, I am going to do this, right? I am accomplishing this today. I'm kicking today's behind, right? I'm going to get this thing done. So those voices, they'll war, but you can always win if you're like, nah, my big voice is winning today. You have to consistently talk to yourself. People think I'm crazy, but I talk to myself all the time. I am encouraging myself. Now we're doing this today, Sharai. We're going to put one foot in front of the other. We're going to swing forward. We're going to go to the gym. Yes, we are. Yep. I work out. This is what I do. And people are so consistent with trying to have like discipline. I don't think it's like I have to be this or I have to be that. You just determine what it is that you are, right? I'm not trying to be healthy. I am healthy. I make healthy choices. I write every day. So it's not an option. It's not a, negotiable. It's something that you determine. So you say it consistently and confidently to yourself. And that's how I keep myself going.
So today is your January 1. Cool. That is so cool. Now, where are you broadcasting in from today?
So I am in near Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Philadelphia, but I am a recent transplant to the Atlanta area, and so that's where I'm hailing from at the moment. Originally from Philly, I'm a Philly John, but
you said that 3 times. Originally from Philly. If you want to give a shout out to Philly, it's okay.
To
give
Philly
a shout out from
day.
Philly. You said it 3 times. Gee, Monique.
I got to rep my city. It's in me.
She said, I'm just a transplant. Ain't nothing wrong. I love Hot Atlanta. Nothing wrong with that. What's up, D. Bolden? What's up, Joe Bratton, Nathan A. Johnson? Thanks for joining. Joy White, it is always a pleasure. They're looking over at you, Tasha, and they're wondering, what was your January 1 moment? I mean, what was the moment you decided to yourself that I've got to make this work? I'm going to help people build their tribe. I'm going to help them build their brand. I'm going to make sure they're represented on social media. What was your January 1st moment? And what does today's my January 1st mean to you?
Yeah, great question. So when I traveled over to Ghana, just seeing how hard everyone was working over there and creating opportunities for themselves, coming back over to the States, we have so many resources here that we aren't utilizing in so many opportunities. And for me, that was my realization, like I need to also create something for myself. I'm very creative, and I've always had really great careers and opportunities working, different companies. But working for myself, I'm able to just utilize my skills and test things. And if they don't work, that's okay. No one's going to say anything or be upset about it. And for me, like I mentioned, I am naturally a connector. So helping people build their communities and finding their tribe is something that for me just comes very naturally, and it just creates a very intimate and personal space. So I think that was my moment when I realized, okay, I need to definitely take advantage of the opportunities that we do have here, as far as like entrepreneurship and access to certain things that many people don't have access to. So, and then what does January 1st mean to me? Every day is a new opportunity to, create something new. And I always make sure not to live in the past, like yesterday is gone. And so I look forward and never look back. So that's what it means to me.
All right, so today is your what?
January 1st.
Today is your January 1st. You got to love it. Look, for those folks that are just tuning in, by the way, what's up, Cedric Guy? We're letting you in, and the rest of you folks that are joining. When we come back in just less than 2 minutes, there's a big, bold claim. There's a big promise from the one and only, the master brand storyteller herself, the person that's written many books. She's going to help us understand, one, what is a brand story, and maybe that's just me, and then why is it important, but more importantly, what are the tools we can put that together? And it's my belief, and Sharai, give them a preview of coming attractions. It's my belief that a brand story will help create the narrative that you need for your marketing or the narrative you need for your social media. Talk about the importance of that for just a moment, because storytelling is everywhere now. Everyone's telling stories. Talk about that for a moment. And I know we're going to break it down after the commercial. Guys, just wait. We'll come back for the commercial. But Sharai, break it down for them. Why is that so important?
Essentially, your brand story is the foundation for everything that you produce. So whatever you share with the world, however you are relaying that information, what it looks like, sounds like, tastes like, all of that is a part of your brand story. So people kind of skip that part and just jump right into, I want to write a book or I want to have a business, but they don't have that foundation. And so you miss the opportunity to make genuine connections. So we're going to get into how all that works together.
I'm looking forward to it. If you're out there right now and you're watching and you're listening, go ahead and look right below the video. And put what you do. And we'll find out what your brand story is. So look right below the video and just put, I help people ... or I help businesses in their marketing, or I help people learn how to save money or have financial wealth. Whatever it is, this is an opportunity for you to spotlight your company, spot what you do. You're going to learn when we come back how to tell your brand story and how to do it correctly. But more importantly, and I think this is the most important part, you're going to learn how to go do it. Like, you're going to learn the components of doing that. And don't worry, we always make sure they bring a free gift when they come. Like, they never show up without bringing a free gift. Did you ladies bring a free gift for folks that are here today?
I got something for folks.
Yes, absolutely.
You better have something for them because they got something for you. All right, with that being said, we're going to go over to the one and only, the woman herself down in Raleigh, North Carolina, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, and she talks about manifestation over hesitation. Wow. We'll be back in just a moment. Let's learn how to develop your brand story. I can't wait. You don't want to miss it.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you, #Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week: manifestation over hesitation. You see, hesitation is the highest form of self-sabotage. You know, when I think of hesitation, I often think of double dutching. And when people would be turning the rope, you would have an individual who was waiting to jump in, and they would be doing this whole back and forth number of hesitating, of trying to think when the best time was to go in. You see, in that same hesitation is in life, where we become hesitant of the things that we're going to manifest because of fear or lack of confidence or lack of courage or the self-doubt or procrastination, or because we're over-analyzing things. You know what? It's time to manifest what it is that we want in our life, because whatever we focus on is what we will get to experience in life. So it's important that first that we are crystal clear on what it is that we want. We should be asking for what we desire with such precision that there's no question in regards to what we want. Next, we need to let go of these limiting beliefs. You see, these limiting beliefs are the things that are holding us back and holding us down. It's time to let them go. Next, we want to stay positive. Let's focus on the positive. So all this negative self-talk that we're telling ourselves, it's time to replace it with positive reframes. Next, we want to take action. And if you joined us last week, you would know that we talked about taking action. So no matter how small or how minuscule that step forward in the right direction might seem, it's important that you take action. And lastly, you want to be able to acknowledge and be grateful about the things that have already happened. Be grateful and acknowledge the things that you have already done to be able to manifest things in your life. And so I challenge you this week, stop hesitating, and it's time to manifest. So start thinking, start asking, start believing, start acting, and start receiving. It's your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission. And that mission is to empower, it is to inspire, and it's to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources, all the resources you need, which really equals revenue necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And so this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, Sharai Robbin showed up for one reason and one reason only. She calls herself a part-time superhero. I don't even know what a part-time superhero is. She's going to have to define that in a minute, by the way. But she's also the person that helps you build and develop your brand story. She's a best-selling, not only author, but a writer. She does so many things to make sure your message gets communicated. But tonight, she says, Shay, we're going to go deep. So take a moment, if you would, Sharai. What is a part-time superhero? And then tell us about what is your definition of brand story so we all can at least be on the same page. Okay, so you might be muted right now, but we can see your hands, though. We can see your hands. That's that superhero power. She like blinked and said, "Let there be silence."
My apologies. But okay, so a part-time superhero is definitely someone who wears a cape, who gets things done. I think most moms are part-time superheroes or full-time superheroes, depending on the situation. But being able just to juggle all the facets that go into life and entrepreneurship and motherhood. So that is why I call myself a part-time superhero.
Well, you are a full-time superhero to me because you're a superhero all the time. I don't know how you do it.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I receive that. I appreciate it. But down to the nitty gritty, right? We want to talk about brand story and brand story development and what that is and what that really looks like. So I want to hit this conversation and I want to share some stuff with you in this space because I am often charged with people who want to write books and they want to share messages and they want to give out knowledge that impacts the world. And that's awesome, right? It's a beautiful, incredible thing. But essentially at the heart of it, we're talking about stories. Right? Something that you want to share. That's the vehicle that you're going to use to get this information out there. So when you think about a story, you have to think about something that's memorable, right? Think about something that you want people to remember you for, something that you can create. How are you showing up? What do people see you as? If you're not in the room, what are people saying about you? And I think that those are parts of the foundation for writing a book that people miss out on. Like you'll often start with I want to have something. But at the core of that something, who are you? Right? At the core of writing a book, who is Sharai? What do I care about the most? What matters to me intensely? Why am I showing up to write this? And all of that, all of the pieces that go into creating who I am, that's a part of your brand story. So everything then comes out of that brand story. So what I share on social media, what I talk about on my Facebook Lives, what messages you'll hear coming from me, what products I create, what things I produce. And this is how it works into writing a book, is that at the foundation, if you know this to begin with, then it goes into what chapters you outline, what stories you decide to tell in your manuscripts. It's the basis for everything that you're going to give to the world. So without a brand story, you're just kind of lost putting things in random places, hoping that you make a connection. But a brand story is the theme, the thing that kind of ties it all together. And without one, you're kind of lost.
You're kind of lost. And can you help us? And what's up, Lavonda Hawkins, who's watching right now? Lamora's out there watching. Mary Evans says she just launched her own SOS show live. She's watching. Selena's watching. She's in the network marketing group. Monica Nettles Johnson's out there who writes books as well. Is they're listening, and so many of all of our new viewers, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Let me ask the question a little differently, and thanks for giving us a definition. Is there a difference between my personal brand story and my business brand story? And if so, why do we resist that? Because if somebody asked me right now, Shay, what's your brand story? I'd be like, well, let me tell you how I got started. And I would just tell them how I got started, but it's got to be more than that. I know you probably give us 1, 2, or 3 nuggets and ways that we can craft our story. But first, the difference between a personal brand story and a brand story, is there something uniquely different?
Not really, because you are your brand. For most business owners, for most entrepreneurs, you are at the heart of what you've created, right? Your reasoning for making this business, why you started the happy entrepreneur in the in the first place, right? There's a meaning behind it, and that meaning starts with you. So there's no way to hide yourself away from the foundation of creating the brand identity for your business, because you are the brand identity for your business. You are the person behind all the decisions that are made, your thoughts, your wishes, your desires, what you want to achieve all comes from you. So it's going to be executed through your business. So the two don't, especially if we're talking about, entrepreneurs, small business owners, it works collectively. It's a holistic process. So you are included in that. And it's the saddest thing, when people don't share their brand story, because then you have this very vague kind of attempt to connect to everybody. And then people don't feel any authenticity with it. It's kind of dismissed. So you don't make the connections that make long-term residual income, that allow you to create product after product, to launch, new things all over and over again, because you haven't made that connection, because you haven't shared you.
No, that makes sense. And for those folks that are already Googled you, they're reading your profile, they know you write books, they're like, okay, this is what she does. And they may be over at your page now, right on Facebook, or maybe they're on your website page, and Sharai Robbin, y'all gonna find it. Y'all gonna find it right now. They're reading it. I get it. And they're saying, okay, I'm getting it. She's gonna give me the 1, 2, 3 in just a moment. But on her page, it says Boss Bay, right? And so Boss Bay. Now, if they're looking on your page, and ladies and gentlemen, I can't make this up. I could probably go to it if we wanted to right now. Let me see if I can go to it. And if I could go to it, and they're wondering, I can't even find my thing. They're wondering probably right now, like, what's the backstory, right? I don't know if is the backstory the same as a brand story? I'm just making up stuff up here because I don't even know.
Not necessarily.
Oh gosh, Shay Brown. There go Shay Brown making up words again. I can't do that, can I?
No, there is a backstory.
Okay.
There's a such thing as a backstory.
But that is different than the brand story.
It depends. There's multiple backstories. Which facet are you going to elect to choose to share?
Okay. So here's what we all want right now. We're going over there now. They're going to pull that up for her. Okay, they pull it up now, and then we want you to give us. Do you mind giving us the backstory? It's not. I mean, it's public information.
No, at all.
I mean, it's on your page. Everyone go over. Everyone go to Facebook right now. Let's go to Facebook. There we are. We're at Facebook. There they are. They're telling me we're at Facebook now. Okay, take us down. Y'all don't need us up there. All right. So they're there now, and they're looking. So I can't make this up. And right there on her page, it says Boss Bay. And so she's now going to give every single one of you. Now, y'all might find her on Instagram, like you can find Tasha Taylor. Y'all might find us on Instagram. But right now, we're on Facebook. And all of our podcasters, I'm sorry if you can't do it right now. And if you're watching on Apple TV or Amazon, just go to Sharai Robbin, put it in the Google search or put it in Facebook search. All right, give us the backstory of Boss Bay. We're all curious. You got to tell us now.
So BAE, the acronym for BAE, it means BAE. It stands for Badass Editor. Watch your mouth.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Watch your mouth now. And so essentially, I'm the boss of my team. But that came as a part of growing into my brand identity, right? Truthfully, if I have to be, absolutely transparent with you, there were the literary bays. And I knew that I wanted to create this team. I knew I had in mind this dynamic team of editors who could help people. I wasn't alone in this and being, a super word nerd. There's some people out here who love this as much as me. And so I created the team. And I had one of my clients tell me that I was her literary bay, right? There was like Nurse Bay, Dr. Bay, all this stuff going on one day. And she just said, "You're my literary bay." And I was like, "Oh, I really like that. I like that." And then I built the team, and I was like, "And they're my literary bays. They're just so wonderful. And I love bay. But what does bay mean?" And when I sat down to think about what it really meant, I was like, they're just a team of like just badass editors. Oh, that's perfect. That's it. There we go. That's it. And it was like perfect synergy. It made absolute sense. And so that was it. And then as the team grew and I had to step into more of my boss mode, elevating as a business owner, transitioning from an entrepreneur into that other quadrant of a business owner and running a business, I had to elevate who I am and how I think and how I function and step into all of my bossness. And so when my team was like, "Hey, boss lady," I'm like, "Oh, hey, I own all of that." And so hence Boss Bay.
Wow, Boss Bay. I like it. Thanks for being transparent. Thanks for sharing it. I know Tasha listens like, whoa, Boss Bay. When you hear Boss Bay, what do you think now, Tasha? What's going through your mind right now?
I love that. That's so creative. Badass editor.
It's good. But she had a story to go along with that, and that's most important. For everyone watching right now, today is your January 1st. Daryl Mack, today is your January 1st. When we come back in less than 2 minutes, I'm going to ask her to give us the components of putting together your brand story. So there might be component number 1, component number 2, component number 3. And I'm going to ask her, if someone writes these down and they write up a short, brief synopsis of their brand story, will she at least look at it? And she might pick one and somebody look at it this evening or another time, but you'll be able to post it right below because she's here to serve and she's here to help. So when we come back, if that's you and you're listening saying, oh my gosh, she's going to give me like component number 1, component number 2, component number 3, and I can go do it myself. Yeah. And then she's going to also give a gift. A way to help all of you stay in this conversation and get to that next level so you can communicate more effectively, you can be briefer, and you can really reach your target audience. At the end of the day, isn't that really what you want to do? Yeah. Let's go over to one of my favorite guys. His name is Rob Howes, and Rob Howes is over in Laurel, Maryland. And he talks about be present where you are. I love this. Be present where you are. We'll be back in just a moment. Karen, I got your message. Don't worry. I'll ask her. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st, Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission to inspire, we're on a mission to empower, and we're on a mission to provide the resources necessary for you to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I'm super excited because we're now going to learn the components on how to develop your brand story from none other than Sharai Robbin, better known as who? Boss Babe. That's badass editor. I think I got that right. And she said she's owning every minute of it. So get your pen, get your paper out. Jackie Jackson, get ready out there. Christika Rogers. This is the moment you've been waiting for. All right, Sharai, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of help us, give us the components of developing our brand story. This is cool. I can't wait.
Awesome. Yay. I'm ready. All right. So let's dive right into it. I love to teach. Like one of my favorite things in the world is to teach. So I got my couple notes. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any points and giving you guys this information. So we're going to jump into it. And one of the first things that I want you to consider when you are writing your brand story is the position that you're taking, right? I want you to think about yourself as a character and realize and recognize the power that holds. So by that, I mean that when you realize that you dictate how the world sees you and you can present yourself as witty, as charismatic, as loving, as funny, as egotistical, as harsh, as judgmental as you want to be, you determine that. But you have to create this character that people can see, right? That person has to be present on social media. That person has to be present, out and about. That person has to be posting. Like there are pieces of that all come together, but the foundation is to start with creating a character. You are that character. You are who the world wants to see. Again, it's not something that you can shy away or shrink away from if you're trying to operate in this space of being a thought leader, of being a motivational speaker, having something to say. Well, then you have to realize that you are a recognizable character. You have to have something that people can look to and say, oh, I know she's this kind of person. I know I'm going to get straight from the hip from her. I know she's going to give me straightforward, or she's going to be sympathetic, whatever that is. Define your character. How do you want the world to perceive you, and how do you want to show up? Okay.
So step number 1 is define your character. Someone look right below the video and write step 1, define your character. Okay, we're paying attention. Thanks.
You're welcome. Step number 2 is know your audience. Know your audience. So if you have a character and there's something that you want to say, who are you telling this story to? Who needs to hear this story? Who is the person, right? What do they look like? You have to identify and know who your audience is, because the components that now come out of the story that you share, they're dependent upon the audience that they're being given to. So if you are, let's say you're a young adult and you get into a scuffle at the mall with your friends. Now, if you go tell your mom the story, they was ruckus and loud. Mom, I don't know what happened. The security came in and they gripped me up and oh my goodness. But if you go tell your friends the story, you're like, yeah, we was tearing them all up. Couldn't nobody mess with us. Because depending on who your audience is and how your relationship, what you know about them, right? That's how you want them to accept you and receive you. So you want your mom to look at you like, my child is a peace-giving student. They ain't causing no trouble. But you want your homies to feel like you a rider, you can toss tables over. So you have to know who you're talking to and determine what you're sharing based on who it is that you are talking to. Know your audience, know the things that they need to know, what is important to them. Your friends needed to hear that. Your mom definitely needed to hear that you was on your best behavior. What does your audience need to know? So you need to know your audience.
Know your audience, number 2. Okay, I'm loving this. And give us number 3.
So number 3 is a big one, and number 3 is the part where people forget or they think that this is not important. Number 3 is setting into place things that connect with your audience. So set into place things that we can connect, or things that resonate with us the most. So if I'm a mother, if I'm a mompreneur, then I'm going to talk about things that have to do with motherhood and the juggle and the balance. If I am, talking about debt management, if I'm talking about, holistic healing, if I'm talking about wealth and weight loss, whatever that is, I'm going to put things in my conversation. I'm going to set down like place markers that let you know that I'm speaking directly to you. And people just kind of assume that everyone gets it, right? They have like a generic way of explaining the story without giving the specifics of the things because we don't see the value in ourselves. So people are like, oh, that's not important that I take care of my mom. That's not important that, I'm rushing home every day to take care of my children. No, those are the small things that are important. So set those down, set those as markers so that people go, oh, I can connect with this person. Or that looks just like me. I'm also taking care of a sick relative. Those are the things, those small nuances that we take for granted are the little things that let somebody else know, I like this person. They're speaking my language because I've been through that particular thing. So set into place particulars that connect with your audience. In your brand story, and again, is how you show up and what you convey and what you talk about in the copy of your website and your ads, all of that, and your emails, all of that comes across, all in the language and the words that you choose.
Wow, those are 3 powerful points. What type of clients do you work with? I mean, you're giving us the backstory. Do you help folks actually develop their brand story, or do they have to? Because sometimes we don't know. I mean, I only speak for myself, okay? Sometimes we just don't know, and we have an idea. So I guess the question is 2 parts. 1, do you help folks really write and put together the brand story, or do they already have to have it, and you're kind of re-editing it and putting it into the words that make sense to everyone else?
Well, we help craft the brand story because, like I said, most people come to the equation with just wanting to write a book, just knowing that a book is valuable, knowing that a book is going to open up doors for speaking engagements, and that's going to get me on stages and it's residual income. So they come knowing that much, but they don't understand that brand story part, it being the foundation, is what then allows us to get to that goal. So we have to help in the very early developmental stages of writing to go, okay, so what is it that you want? What is it that you want the world to say about you? How do you want to show up? Because that's going to help us determine what chapters are going to go into this book. What are the points that you're going to talk about? Okay, and then what's the best story per chapter to highlight? So I work with clients from the ground up when they come in and they don't know anything. They just have a title, right? They just have a title. We have an incredible client who had just a title. Now he's a host on WCCB Charlotte. He's got international book sales. He's speaking all over the world. Incredible stuff with just starting with the title. But we get into, okay, what do you want from this? how do you go beyond this and create something that's memorable? That's the brand story. So from there to people who come in with a finished manuscript, but we still have to go back to that. Great, now you wrote this book. But why? Why did you do this? And what is your intention in all that you've put here on the pages? How can we then turn this to something that we can market? We got to know the intention and the story behind why you did this in the first place.
Wow. Very, very powerful. Cheryl Diane is taking really good notes out there. Cheryl Diane says, number 1, define your character. Number 2, identify your audience. And number 3, set into place things that resonate with your audience. I guess my question is, where's this passion come from that you have to really serve like this? Like, where's this passion that you have to really go out there? We can hear it when you're speaking. You get like so excited about doing this. Like, why? What really floats your boat? What's pushing you?
This.
Okay.
No, in all seriousness, this is my passion, and I do it because I get this kind of thrill from it, right? I came into right in that 2016 area realizing that this makes me happy. Like living a life of writing and editing is something that I've always wanted to do, and then to be able to do it, and because I love God and I've been blessed, so many times by people being a blessing to me, it's like, okay, all I can do is serve. Yeah. If you've given me these gifts, these talents, then okay, and I just want to be just happily serving. And so, and I just said this to my class. I teach an elite author program. I said that to them tonight, that sometimes I know it's God, because it's just like, you can ask me a question and then it's like, and it all just comes out. I'm like, some of that wasn't even me. I don't know where that came from, but it's just there. And I just thank God for it.
Wow. Well, I thank God that you're here right now. Is really exciting. I'm wondering right now, and then I know we'll be talking later about speaking to your tribe and being able to communicate to your tribe and have messages to your tribe. I want you to talk for a moment the difference when a person's communicating their brand story, such as you are, where you're communicating it, and then the difference when they're communicating maybe in writing to a tribe or to their fan base or to their target audience. Or is there even a difference? When we come back, I want you to kind of talk through that for a moment, because some folks might be saying, wow, she sounds so good and she's doing it, and I could never be that person that's talking and doing it. And is there a difference when they're speaking their brand story versus when their brand story is written? You know what I mean? And because some folks, that might be a question on their mind. Certainly it's a question on mine. So with that being said, I know we're coming back. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. You see over in the queue, you see none other than one and only Tasha. She's right there smiling and grinning. And she's going to say, once you understand your target audience, once you understand who your characters are, this is how you get the message directly to them. And that's going to be amazing. But you got to have a message first. You got to have a brand story first. You got to have something they can connect with first. And Sharai has taken up that mantle, and then she says this is what she does. She would do it for free, but she doesn't. But she would do it for free, but she doesn't. For all the entrepreneurs out there that are listening right now, and all the authors and coaches, if you're an author, look right below the video. If you've written a book, look right below the video and post the name of your book or post what your brand story represents. You take a moment right now to connect with all the other entrepreneurs that are watching right now. And why is that important? Because we believe the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And she's teaching you right now how to get the results in your bank account. Someone look below the video and say, ching, ching. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to the one and only down in Mobile, Alabama, Sakoni Prince. And Sakoni Prince is going to talk about stay consistent. And so, we come back. Sharai's going to break it down, and she's going to talk about, how to do it or why it's important. And then you got to be consistent with it. We'll be back in just a moment. Can't wait. Take it away, Sakoni Prince.
Hello, everybody. How you doing today? This is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, giving you my thought of the week. And I'm doing it because you guys rock. And today is my January 1st. And my thought of the week this week is stay consistent and weather the storm. If you remember my thought of the week from last week, it's totally different this week. Because last week we had blue skies, we had barrels of buttery sunshine, and it was pristine. But today it's overcast and we're threatening torrential rain. And what I've come to understand is that life is a lot like that. You find yourself one day you're up, the other day you're down. One day everything is sunny, next day everything is storming. But the question is, are you willing to weather the storm? Because weathering the storm is going to determine whether or not you're successful. we don't need any fair weather friends, and we really don't need any fair weather entrepreneurs. Because yes, things get hard, things get challenging, but you can make it. You can actually make it out of your situation. And you know what? I encourage you today. I don't care what it is you're facing or what it is you're going through. Hang in there and do what is needed and necessary in order to see yourself succeed. Hey, look, this is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And my thought of the week is stay consistent and weather the storm. Hey, look, back over to you, Shay.
Hey, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission, and that mission is to inspire, it is to empower, and it is to provide you with the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And Sheray's been so kind. She spent so much time right now kind of breaking down how to develop your brand story. She told you step by step how to do it. I'm going to ask her now if she has a gift, something that she can share with you, something that allow you to continue to grow, to continue to inspire. And it doesn't require Cash App. Don't worry about that. Doesn't require a Zelle payment. That won't be necessary. There's no credit card you need to swipe here. This is just all about a heart to give and a heart to serve. And then after she tells you what her gift is and how you can get that, then I asked her to talk about, is there a difference, and it might not be, between sharing your brand story, communicating in person or on video versus doing it in writing. Over to you, Sharai. And if you're talking now, she's going to blink her eyes because she is the superpower, and we're going to hear some volume.
Yep. Thank you. Yep, I'm back. So I do have a special opportunity and an incredible opportunity for everybody who's hanging out this evening on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. So this Saturday I am teaching. One of the things, like I said, I love to do is to teach. And so there is an entire 90-minute masterclass, and it's an intense training, and it is absolutely free. And I will be giving you the whole rundown on creating your solid outline, on how to write a book that connects. I'm going to be getting into self-publishing and avoiding the common mistakes. And we're going to talk about the things that you need to do to create your brand and to share your brand to help position you for a good book launch, right? If people want the bestseller status, there are things that you need to do. So all of this I will be teaching for free this Saturday at 10 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And it is a quick registration link. You just go to bossyourbook.com. That's www.bossyourbook.com, and you can register. You get all the welcome information, and I will see you in the masterclass training on Saturday morning. Bring your pens, because I'm going in with a lot of information to help you get unstuck, to help you publish the right way, and to help you market your book successfully.
I'm loving it. And tell us the difference tell them once again, what's the website they can go to in order to get this gift and join this masterclass that's taking place?
It's bossyourbook.com.
bossyourbook.com. Go over there right now. Go to bossyourbook.com. Follow the instructions, and I promise you it'll be a good use of your time. Take a moment if you can, and thanks for giving a gift. We appreciate that. We always like free stuff. Even after Christmas, we love free gifts. We just love gifts. Take a moment to talk about, is there a difference between when you're communicating like you are right now, your brand story, and we can hear it, and the excitement, and we can see your face, versus when they're communicating? Because many folks are going to be listening to Tasha Taylor, who's coming up, and she'll be talking about you've got to communicate with your tribe. You got to communicate with your movement. And I'm just wondering if there's a difference in how it's communicated.
There is absolutely a difference. There is a monumental difference. The difference is legendary. So the difference essentially is, and this is where the nerd in me kicks in, this is the difference between oratory rhetoric and written rhetoric. So oratory is when you are performing, when you're speaking, when you're teaching. And in that space, you have all of this. You have my mannerisms. You have, my ability to move. You have my face. You have my, my body. If you see my whole, my whole stature, whatever it is, you can see me as a whole person, as a whole individual. In that space, I also can take breaks. I can pause. I can, correct myself. You know what? I meant to say this earlier. I forgot to remind you guys about XYZ. There's wiggle room, right, in that space. And you get a better presentation, and people are drawn to that, very quickly. But in written rhetoric, all you have are the words. Right. That's it. It's black and white. It's one word after the other. So every single word has to be intentional, and you don't have the room to make the mistakes, right? You have to make them, correct them in an edit and a revision, and then finish this perfect piece. And people forget about, like, that's the part of writing that does take time. That's the part of actually writing that you can't take a shortcut to get through. You do have to work through that. And then finding your brand story is a huge element that sets you up, ahead of the curve, because at least you'll now know what you should be writing about. And then how you write it, that's subjective. But there is a big difference between the written word and then being, presenting yourself as a presenter. There's as a speaker and a writer. And the two can combine, right? Like, you can't just get on stage without having some notes and some bullets. You do have to have, some structure. So no speaker is just winging it. But there is a big difference between how you present and how you write.
I love it. Thanks so much for breaking that down for me. I can't wait till we come back to you. I'm reading back there, and I'm so blessed and thankful. Can you guys show her screen? I'm so blessed and thankful. She has a screen so beautifully behind her. Blessed and thankful. We're reading one of the pictures behind you. You might not even know the picture's even there, but somebody put. Oh, look at that! She did that on purpose. Oh my gosh! Okay. We've got a rock star. We've got a rock star, ladies and gentlemen. For those folks that are out there tuning in just a moment, we're going over to one and only Tasha Taylor. What's up, Tasha?
Hey.
Well, hey, now that we understand what a brand story is, now we understand what a brand message is, now we understand kind of a little bit what positioning is, now we got to understand, how do we reach and really build our tribe? How do we build a movement? Because there's a thing in marketing that says, if a tree falls and no one hears it, did it make a sound? Yes. And there's some folks out there got a great brand story, but guess what? Ain't nobody there to hear it. And I know we come back, you're going to talk about that. Take a minute or two and give us a preview of coming attractions of what you're going to be talking about when we come back.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to touch on the 4 ways to utilize a Facebook community.
The 4 ways to utilize a Facebook community. And I know right before this, you were showing me some of your clients. I'm not going to mention names. And there's some mega groups out there that you're managing that has 15,000, 30,000 folks in it that you've helped kind of grow through some of these strategies that you were sharing with me. And it was some awesome stuff that we talked about even right before the show. So I'm looking forward to it. Everyone that's out there, I want you to stay tuned, because in just a moment, you're going to learn how to build your tribe and really, really take it to another level. And I'm going to ask Tasha, before we go to the commercial, when you're finished hearing Sharai Robbin, better known as Boss Bay, badass editor. She has her own thing going on, badass editor. What was going through your mind in terms of you getting your clients ready to have a message, and how much more powerful it is when they have a message that they can communicate with their movement?
Well, for one, I am attending the masterclass that Sharai will be giving. I was taking notes as Sharai was talking, because a lot of things that she was saying, she was really reiterating things that I already knew and things that I didn't know. So, thank you so much, Sharai, for sharing that, because I was learning as well. And I'm sure the audience took away a lot of value from just hearing you talk. So definitely appreciate, everything that you shared. And it got me to thinking, like, maybe I should take, the knowledge that I know and create a book as well. Why not?
See, talk to Sharai. I'm telling you right now, y'all need to have a conversation. I'm telling you, she's bad now. She's a bad editor.
Oh, why not? I don't see why not.
See, she does it. See, she gets excited. It's like she got new energy. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back in just a moment. For all my entrepreneurs, for all my business owners out there, like, you know what, Shay, I've got to do something different. Something that's got to change. I got to generate revenue. You'll be listening to me in just a moment. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with the one and only. Take it away, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. And if you're like a number of my clients right now, where you are sick and tired of talking to unqualified people who don't want to do business with you, or you're tired of tracking down people and trying to convince them and persuade them to do business with you, and you're just wasting your time, or you're just totally frustrated, and it's time for you to increase your sales, then we are the sales team that you've been looking for. You see, the number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today is either lost leads, that means they met someone opted on their page, someone signed up on their webinar, someone said they were interested, and no one could follow up with them, no one could track them down, and you had to do it all yourself. Or you spend a lot of time talking to someone, you spend a lot of time sending them information, only to find out they were unqualified. You're like, I'm sick of talking to unqualified people. So if you don't want to sell, or you hate to sell because you want to do something else with your time, something else with your labor, like spend it with those that you love the most, or doing something entirely different, then I want you to pay close attention. I want you to text this number, because we're going to partner with you in two ways. First, we're going to look at doing a complete sales makeover for you. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, we're going to set all the qualified appointments you need without your labor, so you can make sure things get done. And or we're going to have a dedicated sales team to go out and actually make the sale, get the credit card, get the contract, and bring it out. We are the sales team that you've been looking for. So it's just time for you to do a sales makeover. It's time for you to look at your whole sales process and have a structure, a system, a sequence, so you can be scalable and you can really generate those sales. Here's what I want you to do for your sales makeover. Text the word makeover. Do it right now. Open up your phone right now. Text the word makeover, one word, makeover, to 202-999-3515. Let me get that to you again. Text the word makeover so you can look at your business to 202-999-3515, and just follow the instructions. So all you gotta do is follow the instructions, and let's make over your business. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we're gonna make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. It is to inspire, it is to empower, and it is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute that vision. Don't you love that vision you have for the people you were called to serve? And the person coming up now, none other than Tasha Taylor, she has a vision. She wants to help you build your social media tribe. She wants to help you have your movement that's going on, that's connected with your message, that allows them to move in a way to understand everything, which is your methodology that you're going through right now. We do want to recognize a number of folks that are joining. Joe Burnett, we see you out there. Joan Creddy, thanks for joining. You got Justin Burns in the house, the maestro. You guys just bring out the all-stars. What's up with that? What's up with that? And so many of you out there that joining, we thank you so much. All right, Tasha, talk to us. Give us the #1, the #2, and the #3 thing that we need to do right now to really build that tribe. And if you don't have a tribe right now, I want you to pay close attention. If you're someone that has one and you want to grow and you're doing it for the right reasons, not the wrong reason, but the right reasons, pay attention, because this is for you. Take it away, Tasha Taylor.
Right, awesome. Yeah, so we all participate in some type of community, both online and offline. So some examples of online communities would be an app called Telegram, WhatsApp. There's different online forums, Facebook groups, and there's many other platforms. I want to focus on Facebook groups. One, because there's, I think, 2 billion users on Facebook. And recently at the F8 Developers Community Conference in San Francisco, Mark Zuckerberg actually made an announcement saying that Facebook was going to put their focus around groups. So what does that mean for you as a business owner, entrepreneur? Well, you can utilize these groups to, build around an event. Afrotech did a really good job around, using their group for their conference that they have every year in the Bay Area, San Francisco area. They use that as a component for the attendees to communicate with each other, to share events, to find lodging, to resell their tickets, to buy tickets. So they did a really good job of that. So that's an example of using a group around an event. You can also use a Facebook group for a networking community. There's the Chamber of Commerce. They have some chapters have a Facebook community. There's BNI groups that have a professional networking community on Facebook. And then you can also utilize it to build your personal brand and to establish your authority. And then you can also monetize your Facebook community. So once you build trust and once you have engagement with your, these super loyal fans is what I call them, really, because they're following you, they trust you, and they're looking to you as the leader, right? And so your Facebook group can also serve as a customer service component as well. A lot of times if you have an email support ticket, people know that they can get a faster response inside of a Facebook community, because a lot of times those members in your community will also, provide support to those members as well. So Facebook groups can really serve so many different components for your business. And I truly believe if you have a brand or a business, you should look and consider having a Facebook group as a business function for your company or brand.
Yeah, and what do you say to the persons out there saying, sounds good, but I don't have 100 followers. I don't have 1,000 followers. So if I start this group and there's 50, 60 people in there, it's like, why? You know what I mean? And I know there's some theories. Some people say, it's not the size of the group, it's the engagement. But I want to hear what you have to say, because that might be in someone's mind. Like, I only got 12 folks. Why put them in a group?
No, great question. So if you don't have a following right now, that's okay. You can create a following within your Facebook group. What I like to tell my clients who are just starting their Facebook community is to wait until you have at least 150 to 200 people before you open up that group. Why? That's going to create a lot of engagement. So while you're waiting for those pending people to join that group and for you to open that group, you can build out your content calendar and create this engaging content. And you can create a poll to see what content your community is interested in. Do they want to, have speakers come in and teach them something? Do they want to have an offline event? There's a lot of different strategies that you could use. So I'm just going to be very honest. I build communities and manage communities for my clients. I have not started my own community. I just started, I'm launching my community and I'm building that list. I made a post on my personal Facebook page and I invited people who I wanted to include in my community. So I added them as friends from other Facebook groups. So when I created that post, they were all interested in joining my community. And so now I have them pending, and I think I'm not yet at 200. That's when I'm going to open the group. But I'm creating that group that I want to attract. So if you don't have a following yet, that's okay. You can create your following, and you can do that by going into other Facebook groups and giving value.
Natasha, since it is public information, you said it was your Facebook page. I mean, you said it was public information, just like Sharai had public information.
Yes.
Let me go over to your Facebook, because we're curious on what you said in the post. I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, 200 is a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's a big goal. I love how you think. You're thinking big, so we're going to keep rolling with you. But we're curious what you had to say. So everyone, let's go over to Tasha Taylor. Hold up. They're going to pull it up for us. We're going to pull up. And then I want you to break down what the thought process was and the language patterns that you use here. We're not going to judge if you had a story in there. Now, we're not going to judge if it was a short story. We're not going to do that. Okay. I mean, what if y'all said you're going to do? Shay, don't pull that up. All right, I think, let me see. You guys let me know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see it yet? Okay, here we go. All right. So give us see more. How long is this post? Good Lord. I mean, I know I did something. Huh? What's wrong?
Not long.
How come I can't? Oh, there. Okay, there we go. It should open up in a second. You're getting a little latency because I'm on the switchboard. Okay, there we go. All right, so tell us what the thought process around the words that you were using. So if some of us want to follow this, we could mirror this.
Okay, yeah, great. So first, I just let everyone know that, I was excited about sharing everything that I've learned working as a social media community manager. So I was going to also share all of the mistakes that I made. I want to let people know that I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes doing this. And I said, I'm no expert, but I'm going to share with you everything that I've learned working full time and for myself from home for the past 2.5 years. And so I also made bullet points for all the things that I would be sharing inside of the community. And then I said, leave a heart below if you want in, and I'll send you an invite. So I wanted them to perform an action, and when people left comments, I created even more engagement on that post, and that way more people could see it within, you know, their timeline. And so I responded to literally every single comment, and I also gave a reaction to their post as well. And yeah, I have, you know, the majority of those people who left a comment, they requested access. So I'm building my own audience, and it's going to take time, but I'm getting the right people inside of the community. So.
Okay. And when you talk about posts and communicating, is there one platform over another that you just kind of recommend? There's so many of them out there today. And most folks might, and what are your two-part question. Part number one is, what type of softwares are out there that you might recommend or you think are pretty good, number one. And number two, behind that, what are your thoughts when someone knows that you didn't post it, that it was done by ABC software? Is that a negative or a positive? Just give us your view of the world.
Are you when you say softwares? Are you
a Hootsuite or something like that may help auto post? Because you said plan your content for the next 30 days, and I'm assuming I'm not going to be sitting there posting stuff. It's not the best use of my time. And if I decide to use software, are there any that you can recommend, number one? And number two, when people see that, I just said Hootsuite because that's what popped in my mind, so many of them. But Hootsuite posted it, and it wasn't me. Is that like a negative? I mean, talk to me about that.
No, it's not. I mean, it's an automation tool. It's going to save you time, and the majority of the time, people don't know that you're using those softwares, and sometimes it'll say underneath the time, like the post, it'll say, you know, the name of the software, but generally people don't pay attention to that. And I actually use Hootsuite. It's probably one of the popular softwares. I use that with a lot of my clients, and there are a few others. I just prefer that one because that's the one I started with. I'm more familiar with it, and why fix anything if it's not broken. So I personally have never seen that kill engagement on posts, just because we post it from there. Inside of the groups, you can schedule your post out, I believe, 2 weeks. So that's also another option as well.
Good. This is really good stuff. Thanks so much. Now, I hope you brought, or did you bring, I should say, a free gift. We believe in the giver's economy. The person out gives the competition, out earns the competition. So hopefully you brought something. For all of you who are watching right now, all of you who are paying attention, she's going to share with you a gift. Something from her organization to you, the happy entrepreneur.
Yes. So I'm actually going to do a free audit. If you have a Facebook community, drop the link below. I will choose 2 people, and I will do an audit of your group, and also give you a 7-day content calendar.
Now, does it have to be a Facebook group?
Yes.
Can it be a LinkedIn group? Okay, Facebook group. So if they have a Facebook group, they can post. So here's what we do to have fun. If you have a Facebook group that's open to the public, it could be private, go ahead and post it below. Okay, whether you want the audit or not, go ahead and post it right now below. But everyone that does post their Facebook group, she will do an audit, which means she'll do a review of what you have and then share some suggestions on how you can either do 1 or 2 things. I don't put words in her mouth over here, but hopefully it's 1 or 2 things. You either can grow your group, and that's one thing some of you want to do. And others of us just want to have more engagement. I was talking to someone recently, has nothing to do with what you're talking about, and they were looking for an opportunity to maybe do some sponsorship. And one of the things they shared with me is, hey, Jay, we're more interested in the engagement. Like, are folks commenting? Are they involved? Are they even there? And that said a lot. It's like, wow, it don't have to be 30,000 people. This is cool. No, we'd rather take 500 folks that are engaged around, I don't know, Dove soap or improving their business than 10,000 folks who are just not as engaged. So this audit is very, very important. Tell them again how they can do it. They can post the link below to their Facebook group. Do they need to tag you in it? Would that be helpful?
Nope. I'm gonna go through and read the comments, and I'll join the groups, and I'll contact you.
You gotta love the energy. She was gonna go through and read the comments. I love the energy. You gotta love the enthusiasm. I'll try to help you out and get you tagged first, right? But hey, you just post below. She made it real easy for every one of you. Look right below the video and just post right below. Post a link directly to your Facebook group. She will find you, and then she will schedule time to do an audit with you. And I believe and I promise you it'll be a good use of your time. With that being said, for everyone that's out there joining, we come back. We're coming down the home stretch. We're going to do something called rapid fire. And I love rapid fire because we get a chance to ask a question and they get a chance to answer it in 1 minute or less. And I like the less part. Don't you like the less part? Like 1 minute or less. And it's whatever pops in my mind. And I don't know what the questions are. They don't know what the questions are. But I promise you, we're going to learn more about them. And then I'm asking them how they can contact. What's the best way for you to contact them? Some of you might want to say, well, okay, the webinar is cool and the audit's cool. But what if I just want to connect with them on Facebook or Instagram? Where's the best place to connect? Or you have additional questions, they'll be open to that as well. We'll do that when we come back. Right now, we're going to go all the way up to New York, New York. So nice they named it twice. The one and only Delano A. Johnson. He talks about I refuse to live talented and broke. Yeah, that's pretty powerful, isn't it? Sounds like me and you. We'll be back in just a moment.
I live in a city where there are more creative people per square mile than any other place on the planet. Question is, how many of them are successful? How many are just like I was, talented and broke? Being broke is more than just not having money. It's failure to turn opportunities into profitable businesses and relationships that last. My mother always said, people perish for lack of knowledge. A compass takes you in the direction of your destiny, but knowledge of obstacles and distractions will ensure you arrive safely. My mentor once said to me, if I had half your talent, I'd have 4 times my wealth. Since then, I made a promise to God. If he would help me unlock my earning potential, I would pay it forward and help others do the same. That's why I wrote this book, because God made us too talented to live our lives broke. And that includes you.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And that mission is to empower, it is to inspire, and it's to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And tonight or this morning or this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, Sharai Robbin and none other than Tasha Taylor showed up to really provide you the resources. So now we're in the rapid fire segment. And I guess my first question is over to Sharai Robbin, and it is, you probably had a lot of mentors, I believe, along your journey of life. But if you had to select one mentor, and you don't have to mention their name, and one lesson you learned from that mentor, that's really the question. What's the one lesson you learned from your mentor, whether it's business or personal, that you would share with us, the audience? And of course, don't worry, she's going to turn her volume on. I did that the first episode and the second episode and the third episode and the fourth. It took me about 25 episodes to get that thing right.
My apologies once again. But no, to answer your question, what is the thing? For me, it was, what is one big thing I feel like was the big takeaway? Do what you're passionate about, right? And stick to that. Right? Stick to what it is that you are passionate about. Don't try to conform to everybody else and do what everybody else is doing because they have this program or they have this, price package. Do what you love to do and people will love you for that. And that was from one of my favorite people in the entire world, my sales coach, I absolutely call her like the love of my life, Linda Clemens, helped me so much in that space and just walking that out, being confident in that passion.
She's such a wonderful person. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Linda Clemens. You get a shout out. She called me today. You get a shout out, Linda. Kim Warren Martin, who's watching right now, tell Linda Clemens she got a shout out. Gee whiz. All right, I love you, Linda. In all seriousness, okay, back over to you, Tasha, as I'm listening and watching you right now, and I'm wondering, you mentioned that you made so many mistakes starting Facebook group movements. Do you mind sharing one of those mistakes you made that you wouldn't want anyone to make this watching right now?
Oh, wow. Which one do I share? So When I initially started working for myself, I had terrible time management, and that did not work well with a lot of my clients, right? Because I was supporting them with their operations, and going from a 9 to 5 where you're on a schedule and then working for yourself, and I making up my own schedule and I'm doing what I want. So that was a struggle for me, and that was a huge mistake, is not being better with my time management. I actually lost some clients because of that, but it was a lesson learned that I learned very quickly, because this was my only source of income. So definitely be mindful of time and don't procrastinate.
Yeah, you learn very quickly. You don't work for yourself. You learn that very quickly in the very beginning. Oh, we appreciate your transparency. Trust me, you're not alone. I've been there. Many of us have been there before, more than one time. Don't you hate that when you lose your big client? Matter of fact, I asked Sharai that question. Sharai, what happens when you lose a big client? How do you rebound from a client? Either you lose a client or the project comes to an end. We'll make it positive. It's just for today. But the project comes to an end, and it was like a big client, and you're like, oh man, it's over. How do you kind of get mentally geared up to either go after another client if no one's not already in the pipeline, or how do you deal with those emotions?
Well, in the writing space, it's an interesting thing, because you start to feel super connected and committed to somebody. It's an intimate process. So I'll say, for me, one of my favorite projects that I got to work on was a book project with Dr. Freddie Haynes. And I love this man, and I just love the way that he thinks. I love how smart he is. I love so much. And then when the project was over, I was sad. I was genuinely sad, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, that's okay. I know that because I was able to bring that one to an end, I can do it again. So I think of it like that, like what's next, as opposed to I'm so sad that that's over.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Dr. Freddie Haynes, probably one of the top 3 preachers I like in the world. So congratulations, buddy. We'll have to get that story another time. That's a topic for another time. I love it. Great guy. All right. If we can, Tasha, coming back over to you. What do you do for fun? Like when you're not out saving the world, creating these Facebook communities, what do you do for fun?
Hiking. I love being outdoors when it's warm outside. Yoga, going to the farmer's market. On Saturdays, I usually go to a coffee shop and just read a book, because I'm online all the time, because that's what I do. I'm online. So whenever I can get away and I have time off, I just like to disconnect and just read a book.
Yeah, are you reading a book or doing Audible? I mean, I always say I read, but I like Audible.
No, I'm reading a book. I like to smell the pages of the book. Definitely a hard copy book. Yes.
All right, so you showed us you're reading the book Emotional Intelligence. We didn't tell you to do a shout out to a book, but since you put the book up, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, have you read the book, or can you give us one golden nugget from the book? Was it just sitting on your shelf? Because I got some books in my library. I'll let you recoup. I won't put you on the spot. I'm going to go over to Sharai, because Sharai, she's dealing with books all day long. So she should be able to tell us at least one good book she's read, not the Bible, Sharai. Please don't give us the Bible. That's in the category by itself. But what's a book that you recently have read, or maybe you've written on you, and something that you could share from that book with the audience that they can take away and it's going to help them?
One of the things that I can take away and share. So recently, I think my most recent read was Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was well written, right? It was very simple in the language, but the takeaways were extremely valuable. And I think one of the big things for me was whittling down your niche, right? Going very specific, not in that, what did he call it? A blue ocean, right? So, or red ocean, finding your specific target in that space and being comfortable. He talked about your prolific index, like what makes you different from everybody else. And for me, I had to be very comfortable in knowing that I'm not a quick, fast 30-day book kind of person. We work hard, and we get these things done. So that helped me. And I think that if people operate in that space of what's genuinely good for them and what they care about outside of what everybody else cares about, I think that will help them in business as well as personal.
Sure, and then this is a loaded question, but if you had to say, hey, the person's on the fence, should I write a book? Should I not write a book? Nobody makes money from a book, or whatever their reasons are, and they're on the fence. Should they write a book or should they not write a book? And they're an entrepreneur, so we'll frame the conversation. They're an entrepreneur. I know this is loaded for you, and you could go on all night, but just a minute or less. I'll give you 2 minutes. What's one of the reasons they should go ahead and get that book written and completed and out now?
A book establishes your authority. So a book pretty much lets the world know that you know a whole lot about something. And so for any entrepreneur, you do know a whole lot about something. That's the core of your business. And to have a book, it solidifies that. And it gets you in front of audiences that you may never meet at conferences or events. There are millions of readers in the world. You miss millions of people who can connect to your message if you don't have a book, that's something else that you can market outside of just yourself speaking and teaching, but a tangible product that everybody who can't afford your big packages or to work with you one-on-one, everybody can walk away with a $20 product. Everybody. So yeah, you have to have a book if you're an entrepreneur. It's essential.
I love it. You have to have a book. I love it. Okay, last question for you, and then we'll come right back over to, and we're closing up right back over to Sharai in just a moment. But Tasha, as you're sitting there right now, same question. You've been talking about movements and getting your Facebook tribe. What's the number one reason someone shouldn't sit here, get excited, and not take any action? Why should they start a tribe now? And they're an entrepreneur. Why should they start, not just start, but grow their tribe now and put energy in doing it? It's like, God, that's just something else we got to focus on. Why should they do that?
Yeah. So again, like I mentioned earlier, having a Facebook group is really necessary for as a business component, as another component of your business. And people, I don't think, realize that you can actually collect leads, email addresses from Facebook groups. People are entering your Facebook group. So there's a lot of different things and benefits that you can get from your Facebook group, to support your business.
I love it. All right, Sharai, last question for you before we get you guys to give final thoughts to folks that are out there. Who do you look for? What characteristics, I'll say, do you look for in a power partner? There might be some folks out there saying, oh, she does books, she writes books, oh, she helps people develop their brand, and I do a website, oh, hey, by the way, I help folks over here, I don't know, do PR or whatever it is they do. And they're wondering, what type of person does Sharai partner with? Like, what characteristics does she look for in a power partner from a business perspective? What do you look for? What's one of the characteristics that's important to you?
Okay. Well, Sharai.
Sorry, Sharai. I'm so sorry. I'm working harder. I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better.
Okay, I got you.
Thanks.
But no, power partner. I look for people who are like me, but smarter. I look for people who are extremely passionate about what they do, but way smarter than me in whatever area that they do it in. So those are the kind of people that I like to hang out with. So if you are a forward thinker like me, if you are aggressive like me, if you have a type A personality, but you know everything about website and design, then I'm more likely to connect with you because I know that I can talk to you a certain way and that you'll get what I want and we'll have a relationship, we'll have a rapport, and we know that we're here to get things done. So I'm looking for people, I'm always open, to make connections with people who are forward thinking, but are really, really smart in whatever it is that they do. And they love that thing. Just as much as I love what I do, I want you to love that. If it's web design, email list campaigns, whatever it is, Facebook groups, we need to talk, Tasha. That's what, yes, absolutely.
I love it. I love the synergy. All right, ladies, as we come back, we're going to have the final thoughts. They're going to tell you how you can connect with them when we come back, and they're going to give you their final thoughts as we close this episode. You're here with the one and only Sharai. Did I get it right that time? Sharai Robbin, and the one and only Tasha Taylor. My name is Shay Brown. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're going to go all the way over to Phoenix, Arizona to my good friend, great entrepreneur, millennial, one and only Jordan Rubin, and he talks about accomplishing your goals. We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, my man, Jordan. Take it away.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Jordan, the Enhancement Coach. I am the founder and CEO of Enhanced Coaching and Mentoring, LLC, and today is my January 1st. Guys, I'm super excited to share with you the theme, or my personal theme for this month. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you're all really enjoying the Happy Entrepreneur Show. So guys, my theme for the month is simply making the goal accomplishing what it is that you intend to do. And what I mean by that is because so many people go into this brand new year, go into 2020, go into January 1st, and just have this concept that I absolutely need to make X amount of dollars. I need to absolutely lose X amount of pounds. I need to absolutely, do these tangible things without developing the system. And as Shay talks about, systems are way, way, way more important than goals. So you can have the goals, but for these first 30 days, and this is what I urge you to do, this is my call of action to you, is for these next 30 days, commit to doing the task. Every single time you show up to the gym every day, that's a win. Even if it was the worst workout of your life, it is a win. And when you show up to make calls, even if nobody joined your program or nobody supported your business, that's a win because you showed up. So my theme for this month is make showing up the goal. Make the goal simply showing up. This is the Happy Entrepreneur Show. My name is Jordan Rubin. I'm the Enhancement Coach, Enhanced Coaching and Mentoring LLC. And make today a great day, because today is your January 1st.
Today is your January 1st. It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in a country where we're on a mission. And that mission is to empower, that mission is to inspire, and that mission is to provide you, that's right, you the viewer, you the entrepreneur, you the speaker, you the coach, you the network marketer, you the entrepreneur that gets up every single day, you pay your taxes, you take care of your family, and you're out there making a difference in the world. Our whole mission is to give you the resources you need to execute that vision that you have. And I'm really excited to be in this position. So with that being said, we want to first thank Sharai. We want to first thank none other than Tasha, and we want them to take a few minutes, and we'll go to Tasha first, and give your final thoughts. And this is to the entrepreneur. When these lights go out, ain't nobody be saying no rah rah, right? Ain't nobody saying go go go. It'll be yourself, a computer, and the internet. And you got to make some things happen with your team. Over to you to close us out. Thanks again, by the way. I want you to know that you're amazing. You're incredible. Make sure you tell them exactly how they can best contact with you. And it's time for them to build their tribe on Facebook. Take it away.
Yes. So if you have not started your Facebook community, or if you've already started your Facebook community, I think it's important to identify these things. One, what do you want who do you want your community to serve? 2, what are you trying to accomplish with your community? 3, do you have a call to action? And 4, what will you be tracking? So answer those things. If you have not started your community, that will give you an idea of how to move forward with your content and how to serve your community. And if you already have a community, that will also, again, give you an idea of what type of content to create. And you can contact me. You can connect with me on Facebook. I'm very friendly. Talk to Taylor. I can't remember my exact URL, but I'll post below too, so you can reach out to me. But I'm more than happy to connect with anyone who is watching.
Fantastic. Great job. We appreciate you. You're awesome. You're amazing. And we really appreciate you. All right. Sharai Robbin, talk to us. Give us your final thoughts, man. Once again, we appreciate you sharing your time, sharing your experience, sharing your expertise, but more importantly, breaking it down in a way that everyone can go out there and not only develop their brand story, but they can also connect with you, where you're doing a 90-minute, no cost, no charge, no gimmicks, I believe, master class. So tell them how they can best connect with you now, and then share your final thoughts to encourage or to inspire, to uplift the entrepreneurs that now got to go out there and they've got to get their brand story completed, and they got to get that book done.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on the show. For those of you guys who are listening, the link for the masterclass is bossyourbook.com. bossyourbook.com. And you can find me on Facebook at Sharai Robbin. Our team, the Literary Bays, they're at literarybae.com. But the most important thing is that you get in the masterclass. So check us out at bossyourbook.com and schedule or register for the masterclass. And on the heels of what it is that I want to drive home, the most important important thing is to develop your story brand first, to know what you are about, what you want to share with the world, and realize that all of these pieces are going to come together, but they're not going to come together right away. They're not going to come together in the first 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. But this work that you're doing in defining who you are, what you want to share, how you want to present yourself to the world, it's all going to start to work together. I promise you that. So stay the course, right? Even though it gets kind of murky and it gets ugly and the lights are flickering, trust me, it's a part of the process. Stay the course and keep doing the due diligence, and you'll get the results that you're after.
Thanks a lot. We certainly appreciate it. I want to once again say thank you to both of you ladies for being here. Thank you for participating. And thank you, the viewers, all of you out there, many of you that hit the share button. We thank you for every one of the comments that you made down below. We thank you for those folks that are watching on Apple TV or Amazon Fire or Roku or YouTube Live. We appreciate you. And all of our podcast listeners, man, all the comments. And when I get the emails in, I thank you. Make sure you take a moment. Leave a review. Look right below the video. Leave a review. Leave a review right there on and if the podcast, doesn't matter which one you're listening to, or if you're out there right now and you're on Apple TV or any of those affiliates, go ahead and just leave a comment and let us know what you appreciate most about the show. We appreciate you. So with that being said, I want you to know that you're amazing, and I want you to know that today is your January 1st. You will understand and develop your brand story. Today is your January 1st. You will build your tribe, or you will start your community, or you will get, as my mother used to say, your peoples together all in one place, by the way, and y'all are going to work it out. And I know for many of you, I'm looking forward to hearing your story and reading your book. This is your time. Today is your moment. And for you, I know with 100% certainty, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come, because today is your January 1st. With that being said, my name, by the way, for those folks that just tuned in for whatever reason, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. We wish you success. Peace. Bye, ladies. Y'all rock. Y'all amazing. We're out of here. Play the music. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.